Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer because today we're busting a huge myth. You know the drill, right? You're at a restaurant, you're trying to be mindful, so you scan right past the burgers and the fried stuff, and you zero in on those fresh, lean, nutritious sounding options. But what if I told you the exact words restaurants use to signal health are actually a giant invisible trap? We're about to look at some wild data that completely flips the script on how we order. We're going to expose three supposedly healthy meals that are secretly hoarding an unbelievable amount of salt.
Seriously, I want you to ask yourself this. Which of these supposedly healthy options do you think is actually saltier than a large fries? I mean, when we think of salt, our brains immediately jump to the deep fryer. We literally picture the salt crystals sparkling on a fresh batch of fries. We are so conditioned to see those fries as the ultimate salty indulgence, right? But wait until we compare that classic splurge to the stuff you order when you're quote-unquote being good. The results are absolutely going to blow your mind.
So, to make this work, we need a baseline, an anchor point we all instantly recognize. And here it is. A standard McDonald's large fries has about 400 milligrams of sodium. Lock that number in right now. 400 milligrams. When you grab that iconic red carton, you're holding 400 milligrams of sodium. We're going to use this exact number as our measuring stick for the rest of this explainer. From here on out, every time we look at a healthy menu item, I want you thinking, okay, exactly how many cartons of large fries is this? All right, and this brilliantly illustrates our first shocker. A standard fast casual grilled chicken Caesar salad clocks in at a staggering 1,400 milligrams of sodium. Just let that sink in for a second. You order a salad to keep things light, but you're actually taking in about 3.5 times the salt of our large fry anchor. 3.5 times. Look, if you were sitting there eating 3.5 cartons of fries, you definitely know you were eating a mountain of salt. But when it's served in a bowl with a fork, it completely flies under the radar. So, how on earth does it hide so well? Well, it comes down to what we call the Caesar salad trap. First off, the word salad just automatically reads as healthy to our brains. We see a bed of greens, and boom, our guard completely drops. But spoiler alert, the lettuce isn't the problem. The sodium is secretly hitching a ride on all the stuff that makes the salad taste amazing. It's packed into the heavy, creamy dressing. It's baked right into those crunchy croutons. And it's heavily concentrated in that Parmesan cheese sprinkled all over the top. Put all those together and you've basically built a sodium bomb right on top of your healthy greens. Now, what's really wild is our second item, the turkey and avocado deli wrap. Remember, our fry anchor is chilling at 400 milligrams. But this deli wrap, it hits a massive 1,600 milligrams. We are talking 4 times the sodium of our baseline. I mean, think about it. Turkey and avocado, it sounds like the ultimate, clean, working lunch staple. But grabbing just one of these delivers 4 times the salt of our fast food standard. Crazy, right? The crucial point here is figuring out where this salt is actually coming from, because obviously, when you look at a plain slice of turkey or some fresh avocado, you don't see salt. But here's the reality. The deli turkey and the wrap itself are heavily salted way before your sandwich is even put together. The meat, processed with salt. The cheese and spreads, more salt. And that soft, innocent-looking tortilla holding it all together, it is literally packed with sodium just to keep it soft and shelf-stable. The trap is that these ingredients are deeply salted long before anyone even starts building your lunch. Let's keep going and see how this builds into our final order. Say hello to a classic comfort food, a restaurant bowl of lentil or minestrone veggie soup. Once again, that word veggie makes us feel fantastic about our life choices. But check the numbers. This single bowl of soup hits 1,100 milligrams of sodium. That is nearly 3 times our 400 milligram baseline. You might be skipping the side of fries to be healthy, but by ordering the vegetable soup, you're essentially drinking the sodium equivalent of almost 3 large fries. And this brings us to a super important warning. Even though lentil and minestrone soups are loaded with veggies and legumes and healthy nutrients, the liquid they're swimming in is the real culprit here. Broth-based soups are quite literally among the absolute saltiest things you will ever find on a restaurant menu. The salt isn't in the carrots or the lentils, right? It's heavily concentrated in the broth to give it that deep, savory, comforting flavor we all love. So when you order a broth-based soup, you just gotta remember you are actively choosing one of the most sodium-dense items available. If there is literally only one thing you take away from this explainer, make it this. We have to completely disconnect 2 ideas in our brains. Healthy sounding and low sodium are simply not the same thing. They're totally separate categories. Just because a menu item flashes words like salad, turkey, avocado, or veggie does not mean it's low in salt. Actually, as we've clearly seen with the Caesar salad, the wrap, and the minestrone soup, these healthy-sounding options can be the worst offenders of all. We really have to stop letting our brains get tricked by the healthy halo around certain words. So, how do we actually defend ourselves? Well, it starts with knowing exactly where the salt likes to hide. And we've nailed down the three biggest culprits today. It hides in dressings, specifically the heavy, creamy ones. It hides in deli meat, thanks to all that processing. And it hides in broth, making soups incredibly dense in sodium. But hey, here's the good news. Now that you know the usual suspects doing the damage, checking the sodium content of a menu item takes all of 2 seconds. You don't have to guess anymore, and you definitely don't have to be blindsided. Want to see the true numbers before you order? That is exactly why tools like SodiumWise were built in the first place. But look, having the numbers at your fingertips is just step one. The real question I want to leave you with is this. The next time you sit down at a restaurant and the waiter hands you that menu, are you going to take those healthy-sounding words at face value? Or are you going to start looking for the invisible salt trap hiding on your plate?